and the billions of dollars that are coming into there. So there's lots of reasons why somebody like you might be silent. You might be scared to say something. You might actually like to see the corruption. I know there are some that are making a lot of money from it. Or you might not care about it. Could you help me understand why you are silent about this corruption?
Well, first of all, Steve, thank you for the question. I think it's really unfair to imply that I like to see corruption in Washington, D.C. I reject that premise wholeheartedly. I am here answering your questions in public because I care about transparency. Just a minute, I'm going to answer your question. I care about transparency and accessibility and doing things the right way. I was actually just named to the House Ethics Committee because I do things the right way. That is a committee that is evenly balanced. It's Republicans and Democrats, 5 and 5, and we have to, in many cases, look at very serious allegations against our colleagues and police them from doing the right things. I'm answering your question. Steve, I'm answering your question. You may not like my answer, and if that's the case, then that's your right to not like my answer, but I'm answering your question. So one of the things that I did to lead by example here, so that my constituents know that the decisions that I am making, because I am accountable to all of you. Many of you probably didn't vote for me, some of you probably did. What I think is important is leading by example. And so when I was named to the House Appropriations Committee, for example, I want to make sure you know that any decision that I make, any funding request I make, is not something I'm going to get a kickback on. So my husband and I actually sold all of our publicly traded stocks. I'm not making stock trades to make money while I'm in Congress. I'm not doing any of that stuff. The other thing I think is important is following the rules. And so when you look at what happened with that plane, everything was followed ethically. It was given to the Department of Defense. And what I think is important to note in this bigger conversation is there is going to be a look at make sure that plane is safe for us to use. Ultimately, that's my biggest concern with any sort of plane like that. If it's received from a foreign entity, we need to make sure the rules were followed and that there are no spy materials available on the plane.
Hear that? Representative Ashley Hinson rejects the premise that she likes to see corruption. She doesn't like it. She merely facilitates it, all at the hands of Donald Trump. Now, to be clear, since this beacon of integrity and ethics is claiming that all of the rules were followed, no, this was on no planet legal or constitutional. In fact, here's the plain text of the Constitution in black and white. No person holding any office of profit or trust under them shall, without the consent of the Congress, accept any present, emolument, office, or title of any kind whatsoever from any king, prince, or foreign state.
Nobody in federal office can, without the consent of Congress, accept a present, an emolument, which means a payment, an office or a title of any kind whatever from a king, a prince, or a foreign state. Well, this is very clearly a present from a foreign king and a foreign state, and he does not have the consent of Congress. We want him to come in. He can make whatever case he wants for why he should be able to keep it. But guess what? It's not up to him. It's not up to Attorney General Bondi. It's not up to his family. It's not up to the Secretary of Defense. It's up to the Congress of the United States. How do I know that? Because it's in the Constitution.
Now, there was no vote in the Congress for Trump to accept this plane. It was simply a gift from Qatar to Trump, wherein Trump accepted this plane that'll ultimately go to him in his personal capacity in the end. And if the roles were reversed and a Democrat was in the same position as Donald Trump is, something tells me that Ashley Hinson and every other Republican in Congress or the political zeitgeist would suddenly have plenty of issues with this idea of a president accepting a full-blown $400 million gift in blatant violation of the Constitution. But because it's Trump, these chicken shit lawmakers suddenly forget all of their responsibilities contained within their oaths of office. And yet, this is what you get with today's Republican Party. A bunch of groveling, obsequious, fawning sycophants, each jockeying to insert themselves farther up Trump's ass than the next person. There is nothing I can say that will ever shame them into doing what's right. The only option then is to beat them at the ballot box and make sure that they are no longer a viable political party. The future of our democracy quite literally depends on it. Before you go, if you enjoyed this content and you want to see more and support independent media, please subscribe to this channel. The subscribe button will be right here on the screen. But second, the reality is that we are now in a political environment where this administration can lean on any of the social media platforms to suppress certain voices if they don't like critical coverage. That means my longevity here is in the hands of a few tech billionaires who are already making it clear that they are willing to cater to this administration. To that end, signing up for my newsletter is a way for me to reach you directly if that ever becomes necessary. I'll put the link right here on the screen as well, so please sign up. It's free, but there's also an option to do a paid subscription if you'd like to support me and my team. I really appreciate it. Thanks so much for watching.